Welcome everybody to Pinstripe Chronicles, your best source for the most entertaining take on the Yankees. I am Tats. I'm here with Rob and Donald. Donald, welcome.
Live from New York. I'm home, baby. It's good to be home. How is everybody?
So
in the Empire State. How's things in the Empire State, Tats?
That's much better that you're here now.
Ah, my man. I landed. I was like, you crazy bastard, you did it.
Well, it took you long enough to get back.
I did, but 3-4 years.
That's too long.
It is too long. I'm still trying to get my bearings because it's like a different world from the hills and the mountains and the glens and the lochs of Scotland to Times Square, which was just like what the fuck is going on? Running around with my suitcase. Jesus, my Google Maps, trying to get myself together. I should be better today. I should get my bearings back today.
Well, the other way we were wondering, what the F is going on was, the rare outing from Cortez, not having his cutter, getting lit up. But how about, I actually want to give Paredes, some flowers because he had a phenomenal game.
Flowers?
Death flowers. But, he really had a good
Rob,
game.
have you heard that expression before? Give him some flowers?
No, I think Bobby Tats has a secret life that we don't know about because you give flowers when people are in the ground. So I don't know what he's trying to do.
They're either getting married or in the ground or having a baby. I don't really know, but certainly not playing baseball.
But
do you mean like
regardless, you still had a good day yesterday?
Props. How about the word props? Props is a good
one.
General term. Flowers.
What?
Happy birthday. Here's some flowers, Grandma. That's what you give your grandma for her birthday.
What the hell are you doing to me yet?
I'm torturing you. You deserved it with flowers. I'm gonna give him some flowers.
Yep.
Never heard of that term before. Tats is all move on. Hurry up, move on, Donald. Shut up. Flowers, honestly.
So what the hell was I saying? So Paredes just had a phenomenal game yesterday with the 3 home runs. He gets credit for that. But Cortez not having his cutter was pretty much what handcuffed the Yankees for his outing. It was another loss, which is not the end of the world. We still have enough of a cushion in the division where a loss in a series is not going to, it's not going to hurt. It would have been better if it was the last game. I would have rather won yesterday and at least know that the series was in hand. You can't always get what you want as a fan or as a player. So what was your take about Cortez yesterday and his outing?
Cortez threw 8 cutters and 3 of them were home runs. So I think that pretty much tells its own story right there. Normally his cutter is his go-to pitch.
Yeah.
It's often his get me over pitch as well. That's how he establishes his outing. That cutter that comes inside, that's usually how he establishes himself, and then he works from there. Didn't work this time. Tampa Bay had a game plan. They're a very well managed team. They're a very well coached team. Their scouting and analytics department is through the roof, and that's how they obviously had a game plan for Cortez. They knew that his cutter was his main pitch in many ways, is his best pitch, and they found a way of getting to it before it could do some damage to the batters. But I mean, obviously Cortez also mentioned in his post-game interview, he did kind of say that, well, they faced me like 3 times this month, so there's going to be a little bit of the fact that they probably now kind of know his repertoire a little bit better. I'm not too worried about it. The only thing that maybe flag as a slight concern is that 2 of his last 3 outings, he's now given up more than 3 runs. His ERA is 5.79 as opposed to all the previous starts put together is 1.50. So, but it's a very small sample size. It's 3 games. It's not really an issue. Certainly, his previous start was fine. So, I'm not worried about it. It's just I think it's just one of those things where a very good opponent in Tampa Bay, even though their record isn't that great. They're 7 games above 500 now. They're still a very good team, and I still think they're going to be a force as the year goes on. I still think that they're going to be a very good opponent and an outside playoff shot for sure for them. So when you play an opponent often, there's going to be a time where they're going to figure out one of your pitchers, but I still have full faith that Cortez is going to make the All-Star team, and he's still got a sparkling ERA. It's with 2.32 now. So he's our number 2 starter right now. So listen, bad outings happen. Even Garrett Cole, who for me has had a really good year, apart from through bad outings, he still had a very good year, but he got bombed and not the last start, but the start before. So it happens. It's just it was Cortez's turn. We turn the page or as Aaron Boone says, flush it. But yeah, it was a cutter that was the problem.
Rob?
It was really one guy that beat him, The home run by Ramirez was the slowest home run recorded in the StatCast era, and it just scraped the wall. So I don't want to hear anything about Yankee Stadium anymore being this little league park or whatever, because that's a home run in one ballpark. And, the Rays, you can't control, where you play. Well, you can if you're the Rays. But, he didn't have it. Clearly didn't have it yesterday, but it was mainly one guy. And I remember last week we were talking about how do you beat the Rays and it's not let one guy beat you. And I remember saying, I'm glad Austin Meadows is gone, right? Well, the guy that they got in the trade for Austin Meadows just hit 3 home runs against them.
You see, everything they do is amazing.
The curse of Austin Meadows just continues.
It's like a curse of the Rays, man. Every move they make is unbelievable.
Yeah, they just find a way. And it's when they beat us, it seems to be one person is having a crazy game. And, hey, credit to Paredes. He found some good pitches to hit and he took them over the wall. And that was the key for them winning.
If they traded for a refrigerator, the refrigerator would beat the Yankees. That's just what he does. They do. I don't understand how they do it. It's just even trades that you think, oh, that's ugly in the other team's favor, always goes in the Rays' favor. They're just, I don't know what it is, but yeah, finish your point, Rob. Sorry.
Anyway, I'm not too worried about Cortez, though, because, 2 of his last 3 starts have been kind of rough, but his last start against Tampa Bay, he was able to hold them to 1 run in 5 1/3. Let's not forget this is the most he's thrown in his entire career in terms of starting pitching. He's always been – his most thrown year was 2019. He was a reliever mainly that year. So now he's starting every 5th day, and he's been throwing, 6, 7, 8 innings almost consistently. He's not used to that at the major league level. So if people are starting to figure him out, also Tampa Bay has seen him, like he said, 3 times this month. So eventually you're going to have a rough outing or a couple of rough outings. And if he gets them out of the way now, so be it. I'm confident he'll go out there his next start, which I think is against Houston, actually. And I think he's scheduled to go in the final game against Houston. Maybe he's able to have a better start against them. We'll have to see. But I don't want to see people worrying about Nestor because what he's done for us so far is honestly more than we could have asked for him. Going into the season, we're like, he's a number 5 starter. If we get 4 or 5 innings out of him every 5th day, we're going to take it, right? He's been ace for us. He's been Cy Young caliber for us for these first 3 months. So if he has a couple of hiccups, let's not.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm not saying. Yeah, we're not. I'm not saying we are panicking, but there's been some kind of eye raising on Twitter. Yankee fans are kind of losing their minds again, but even at the end of the day, we almost came back to win the game. And had we given up 1 less home run to Isaac Paredes, we win that game. So, I mean, even in the games we're losing, we're still in it. And that's a good sign that we've only been out of it once this year, and that was against the Twins. So of all of our losses, there's been 1 game where we've been like, yeah, that was just a rough one. Even yesterday, where the offense wasn't really hitting, they were down to their last out, and Marvin Gonzalez gave us a chance. And then we had Aaron Judge up, who came a foot away from tying the game. So it's just they're always in it. Erased it, win this series tonight, and we'll forget about yesterday real quickly.
I
That's a
mean,
very good point that we're in every single game. That's a great point. It's amazing. Like every 10 game you tune in, you feel that you're going to win, or at worst, you're going to have a very good game of baseball, and the Yankees are going to be in with a shout, and it will go right to the ninth inning. And that's what they do. And it's, I mean, when Aaron Judge squared up on that shot, I held my arms up. I was like, we've done it again, but it was just went to about a foot and a half away from a home run. If that it was that close, but oh boy, that would have been some moment.
yep. Especially, with Judge going into the collective bargaining, that would have just been phenomenal. It'd be like, hey, you just see what I did last night? Pay me.
Yeah. Pinch hit, right?
But and on a pinch hit, no less. But no, I think the whole factor is one, we've been saying this more often than not, it's just one loss. This isn't a loss like that's going to bite us in the ass in September. This isn't a loss that's going to derail the season and really have them second guessing their approach. They still made a game out of it. They took one pitch. Nestor was minus one pitch, even though, and it was a key pitch of his. It just wasn't clicking. And there's no reason to panic. There's no reason to go, all right, now we need to evaluate our pitching staff. No, Cortez has shown when he had that one outing that he got rocked, like Rob pointed to, he came out to Tampa the next day, the next outing, and was Cortez again.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start seeing what he's supposed to be is your number 5 starter, even though he's been ace-like. When your number 5 starter starts getting 4, 5, 6 outings in a row where you start questioning his ability or his effectiveness, that's when you start to really evaluate, where you're at. Not off of 1 or 2 games.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, the key of the game in many ways was the incredible play by the Tampa Bay shortstop on Stanton's absolute rocket. Because we were in a position there with if that run scored, then Aaron Judge's potential home run right there would have won them the game. That's how close it was. Because if that found the hole, which 99 times out of 100, that is an RBI single. I don't know many shortstops that would have reached that play. No disrespect to Falafe, but Falafe was playing shortstop there for the Rays. He wouldn't reach that. That's how good a hit that was from Stanton. It was just an incredible play from the shortstop to somehow get anyone who manages to catch up to a Stanton rocket deserves a lot of kudos. So I'm going to give kudos to the Rays shortstop right there for somehow managing to spin, catch that, and throw the guy out on a double play. That's what won them the game, really, because then Marwin Gonzalez 2-run home run, it's a tie game, and then Judge's pinch hit home run. You know what I mean? That Yankees win. That's it's all about inches, and so there was. So Judge's home run, if he was about an inch closer to the the meat of the bat, that's 500 feet.
Yeah.
And Stanton's line drive, it was an inch away from the Tampa Bay shortstop. Runs are being scored. It's a game of inches. That's what makes baseball fascinating. So if you just look at the box score, you're seeing Stan. He's in a hole. He's in a slump. Grounds in a double play. No, he absolutely crushed that. An Aaron Judge, oh no, flies out. No, he absolutely crushed it. It's just a game of inches, man. But that was the key to the game. The good kudos to the Rays shortstop.
I also think that one of the keys to the Yankees being able to make that 9th inning so interesting was Boone not panicking in an earlier inning and bringing Judge in. Holding.
Where would he have put him in though?
No, there was no situation to bring him in. But it's not like, Boone didn't panic and be like, well, let me at least get something going in the 8th inning, or in the 7th inning and bring in Judge, when like Gallo was at bat, and just kind of letting it ride and waiting until, it was the prime opportunity to use him, which he did. But do you think that the Gonzalez home run killed the rally?
What?
They say sometimes the home run can kill a rally because now you have nobody on base to kind of move around. When you're down by 3 runs and you hit a 2-run home run, it's kind of like one batter too early.
I don't know what to say to that. I mean, listen, I don't think he was looking to hit a home run.
I know that.
He just put together a terrific swing, and it absolutely went right out there. You're never going to criticize a 2-run home run because that's what put Judge in the opportunity to tie the game with one swing. That was what we were dreaming of. At the start of the inning, we were looking at the guys coming up and we were thinking, how are we going to find a way of getting Judge up with an opportunity to tie the game? And Marwin Gonzalez did it. He deserves all the credit in the world, in my opinion. Rob?
Your number 8 hitter who's had 1 home run this year came up with a really big hit in that spot. So I don't think it killed the rally. It's certainly, I can see had he gotten another double because he had one earlier that was a ground rule double that would have scored in Higgy had it stayed in the park. That turned into LeMahieu tying the game. But had that happened again, and then Judge comes up as the pinch hitter with 2 outs, and then if he flies out, to left field and you have the 2 guys on, you're like, man, if only Marwin could have went over the wall. Who knows? You're not going to really criticize a 2-run home run, but I can see what you're saying there, Tats, because had a run scored and then Marwin's at second and then Judge is up, and it still would have been a home run to tie the game, though. So the situation wouldn't have changed. Had there been 1 out, still really wouldn't have been much of a difference. So he did what he had to do, which was just keep the line moving to get to that next batter. I am surprised that they let Gonzalez bat instead of pinch hitting Judge there. I thought they would have brought in Judge to hit for Gonzalez, but they pinch hit him for Gallo again. So once again, I still don't know what the heck they want to do with Joey Gallo because he's having a really good month of June, but they continue to pinch hit for him. So even though he's been hot at the plate in this month, they're not trusting him. And I get why.
Has he been that hot, though?
Look at his numbers. And
I'm looking at his numbers.
Don't look at his batting average. I swear to God, if you bring up his batting average and say, well, he's not hitting the ball well, don't do it because then I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to ignore you, Clinton.
Okay. I'm looking here. Okay. 0 for 2 against the Cubs, 0 for 4 against the Cubs, then 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, and then 0 for 2 against Tampa, 0 for 2 against Tampa, 2 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 1, 0 for 3. If that's hot, then that may be hot for Joey Gallo. That's not hot in baseball.
You're not looking at his on base or his weighted runs created plus, or are you looking at his slugging or his OPS? Or you're not looking at any of those things. Compare that to what he did in April and May. And tell me that he's not having a better month.
Oh, he's having a better month, but I wouldn't say hot. I think hot is a massive over-exaggeration for Joey Gallo.
You're just
there's a lot of offers there, man. Okay, he walks anyway. There's a lot of offers there. He's having a terrible year, apart from...
I'm not saying he isn't having a terrible year. I'm just saying that he's been better this month. He's at least swinging for power. Let me finish my point, for crying out loud. Let me finish my point. I'm getting cut off like 3 times already today. He's been swinging the bat for power this month, and he's still getting pinch hit for. So I'm saying even though he's having a better month swinging the bat, and you can see it because he's making better contact, Aaron Boone still doesn't trust him. And I understand why, which is what I was going to say before you cut me off. I understand why Aaron Boone doesn't trust him in these situations because he strikes out far too often for that. And you'd much rather have Judge, who makes more contact. That was what I was going to say. I thought that he would have pinched hit Judge for Gonzalez and then went to Gallo. But I get why he pinched hit for Gallo because he has not come through in a lot of those spots. That's what I wanted to say. But yes, Joey Gallo's numbers have trended upwards this month. That's also what I wanted to say.
I think you've been lipstick on a pig there. I think he's having a pretty bad year.
Lipstick on a pig.
I didn't say year. I said month. I didn't say his year's been good. I said he's had a better month.
Mm-hmm. So he is having a better month, but it's still not like hot. I think hot is an over-exaggeration. Better is the better term.
I think you're a little jet lagged.
I don't think I'm jet lagged at all. I'm thinking. Well, do you disagree? Do you disagree? Why would you say I'm jet lagged?
Your
What am
argument
I
about
saying
the
which
hits.
is wrong? What am I saying which is wrong?
No, I don't think either one of you were wrong. I think you're both.
I never said wrong.
You're bringing up a point of where, he's not getting the clutch hits, and Rob is pretty much saying the same thing, but because of the all the advanced stats, that he's been trending into getting better. What I've seen is he's still not getting the key hit, but he's putting together better at bats. He's not getting the results that we want, but he's trying to get himself to go back to being more patient at the plate, taking his walks, not swinging for a big hit. So it's kind of like, he's in that middle ground right now where it would make sense. It wouldn't surprise us if he went on, a little hot streak with the bat where he was getting big hits. It also would not surprise me if he went back to flailing at everything that he sees. So he's kind of on that pendulum where he can still go either way. We're just hoping that he goes more of the way of getting the key at bats since he's being so patient.
I think you're sitting on the fence there, Tats.
I like being
pick a side.
Pick a side, damn it.
Side.
But the thing is, I'm not disagreeing with Rob. All I'm saying is
I don't think he's
not hot. I'm just saying he's better. I think better describes what he is right now. He has been better. Like, he's not on an automatic strikeout. He has been better. He has been getting his walks and all that stuff. And he's hitting the occasional home run. I'm just saying that I wouldn't want to over-exaggerate what he's done this month because the Yankees clearly don't trust him. He's batting ninth for a reason because they can't bat him 10th. So I just think that, there's minimal trust they have in him right now. And there's a reason for that. And I don't blame Boone at all for not trusting him because there's really no reason to trust him.
That was part of my point as well. But I want to say he has almost as many home runs this month than he had in April and May combined. RBIs as well. What does he have? 9 home runs, 18 RBIs. He has more RBIs this month than he had all of April and May. Weighted runs created plus league average is 100. He's at a 143 for the month. So he has improved. He's been better. And considering what he was the first 2 months, which was abysmal, I would say this is hot for what he was doing. The on base is well over 300, which his slugging is over 500, which it was OPS is over 800. And we were lucky to get 600 from him in the first 2 months. So I also get why Boone doesn't trust him though. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's been, in my opinion, he's been hotter at the plate. He's been hot at the plate compared to what he was. But I also get why Aaron Boone doesn't trust him because if you're going to pick, do I want Aaron Judge in this spot or Joey Gallo? Aaron Judge, 100 times out of 100 is the choice there. That is no argument. But if Judge had already been pinch hit for, and let's say they took out Gallo for Trevino there, I'd have been like, let's not do that because one swing could tie the game from. I'd rather have Gallo up with that one swing, even though Trevino has been very, very clutch with guys on base. If it was that situation and Judge had already batted, I would take Gallo over Trevino when needing the home run. But because it was for Judge, you can't complain about the pinch hit move. I get why Boone is doing these pinch hit jobs for Gallo. I'm just saying, maybe give him a shot. I know if everyone's going to go crazy if he strikes out, which he probably would, but at least give him an opportunity and see what he can do because maybe he does come through. He's done it before this year, and he's in it last year very, very few times, but he's done it.
I will say I like him in the 9 hole. The 9 hole seems to be suiting him. There's not any pressure for him to hit runners in scoring position. He seems to be better in the bottom of the lineup, and his at bats have improved exponentially from the first 2 months of the year. So there's no argument there. His at bats have improved exponentially. There's not even a comparison to the Gallo that we're seeing now as opposed to Gallo that we were seeing from April up to now. But it's still not enough for me. That's
fair. I'm bringing that up because a lot of people were talking about the trade yesterday because we did get Abreu back. We claimed him from the Royals. Because everyone's like, Cashman fleeced him. And then some people are like, well, the Rangers fleeced us for Gallo. But people seem to continue to forget none of those players we gave up for Joey Gallo were making an impact on this team this year, last year, next year, the year after that. He traded Rule 5 guys and guys that were blocked by 18 different infielders and pitchers on this depth chart. So even though the trade hasn't really worked out, you needed an impact bat, and Joey Gallo at his best is an impact bat considering what we were getting last year from Clint Frazier and Brett Gardner playing basically, well, Gardner playing every day. We needed a bat. Cashman got a bat for guys that he wasn't going to use. So it wasn't the worst trade. You just wish that you got more production out of Gallo. But if he can take this into July, maybe someone like the Padres says, hey, we'll give you a couple of lower prospects for him. And then the Yankees will be done with it. And they go, it's not the end of the world. We lost a couple of infielders that we already have 17 of and a pitcher that we weren't going to use anyway.
I think there's two truths to that. I think that if you ask the Rangers, are you happy with this trade? They're going to be like, yeah, absolutely. And if you ask the Yankees, I think the Yankees would probably agree with you, Rob. And I tend to agree with both sides. I think that in the one instance, I'm actually sitting on the fence on this because we did get an impact bat. It hasn't worked for a bunch of guys that never had a future at the Yankees. So is that a bad trade? No. It was a risk worth taking. Is Gallo the bat that would have put us over the top? I said it from day one, no. And it's turned out that way. He isn't the type of player which would improve where the Yankees are going. He's too much of all or nothing player, and we already had too much of that last year. So if the Yankees traded him for in a Luke Voigt package similar to what we got for Luke Voigt, I would see him doing better in another situation in the National League or I think the National League would be perfect for him. And then I think we need to go and we need to make a deal for a Benintendi or a Hap or somebody of that nature, and you put him middle bottom of the order. You'd be absolutely that's the type of player that really would solidify our situation. But I think it was like, in terms of getting a 45 plus home run guy, it was a risk worth taking, an all-star and stuff. It's just he's not the type of player that was. I think he was just too similar to what we already had, and it's turned out that way. But yeah, I don't hate the package that Cashman gave up, but I do know the Rangers are happy. They're very happy right now.
No, why wouldn't they be? They got young stars that they can kind of, young players that, they can, build up through their system.
Yeah.
And got rid of a guy that, is not, a player that every team was clamoring for. The Yankees just, they needed that impact bat from that side of the plate, like Rob called it. And has he come through? No. But at least we got somebody that, you're going to get 50% of the time. You're going to get, that hit that matters, as opposed to just having these Rule 5 guys that just disappear and you get nothing for it. At least make something out of nothing.
Yeah. Again, will Gallo heat up in July? Maybe. If he has, I don't know, he has what, 9 home runs now. If he has, let's say, 14, 15 by the break, I'm sure someone's going to bite if the Yankees put him out there. I do think a Benintendi or a Hap, Benintendi specifically, would be so perfect for this lineup. Put him at the leadoff spot, get DJ down to the 5 spot, because he's not hitting enough for me to be the leadoff hitter, and he looks so much better hitting behind Stanton in the lineup. I think that's what we really need, is that I'm going to get on base and I'm going to hit at the top of the order. And you follow that up with Judge and Rizzo, who is on fire this month. You cannot get him out. And eventually Stanton's going to start murdering the baseball again. And this lineup's going to be really complete. And you can stick Aaron Hicks in the 9 hole at that point and be like, all right, because he's been better this month as well. So it's, if the trade-off was Gallo goes to San Diego, you get some pieces back, and you have to give up someone like Andujar and other prospects to get Benintendi, this lineup is a lot better, because Benintendi's a Gold Glover in left. But the main thing is now would probably have to put Judge back in right and put Hicks in center. because you don't want to take Benintendi away from left, even though he can play center. But Judge is so good in center, but he's also so good in right. So what do you do there? That's why I think they want to go with Happ, because he's got a year of control left, and he can play everywhere.
I think Happ's the guy. Yeah, they like those guys that could really be moved into various positions without an issue. So Happ would fit that more of what they're doing this year.
I'd prefer
having those
Benintendi.
guys
Yeah,
that
I'm
can
with
bounce
Rob.
around the outfield.
I'm with Rob. I think Benintendi would be the impact bat. But I'm not going to be disappointed with a Hat. But I think Benintendi is a better player, much better.
No, I think Benintendi is better. But trying to get into Cashman's head, I think that Happ would fit what he wants to do this year with the team. Especially having the extra outfielders, having to shuffle them around. He'd rather have somebody that's just a little more versatile.
I think we saw the original lineup. Remember when they had tried Josh Donaldson to lead off, and they had DJ LeMahieu in the middle of the order. That was, I think, Aaron Boone's original plan. It just hasn't worked out that way because they haven't been able to settle on a leadoff hitter. They've been trying Judge at leadoff. I don't want Judge in the leadoff. I mean, he's been fine. You bat him anywhere.
What about Torres?
He's going to be great, but. I mean, listen, they've tried everything else. Why not Torres? I mean, Donaldson hasn't worked. Donaldson hasn't worked at the top of the order. LeMahieu is the best of the bunch at the moment, but I think you're right. And Rob, I think that he's a couple of years ago, he was 100% leadoff hitter. He's batting 340 and stuff. Now he's trending downwards a little bit in terms of average, but he's still making good contact. And he's still driving in runs when given the opportunity. So yeah, I think he would be fine like in the 5 hole or something like that. I think they do need a leadoff type hitter though. So whether it's Benintendi, whether it's Happ or whatever, I think that would certainly help lengthen the lineup.
Yeah, we'll just have, obviously, the trade deadline's still a little ways away, so we'll have to see how that all plays out.
Yeah.
But, what should play out tonight is a solid outing, and hopefully a win for the series, and have the 6-3 road trip, before coming home to play the Astros. So it's we'll see how tonight goes. Tomorrow we'll be back, and we've been breaking that game down with Donald and I. What's up?
We've already won 6. We already have 6.
Oh, 7-2 then.
Yeah, if we lose tonight, we'll be 6-3. Don't put that to the air.
Tats, I think you're jet lagged.
I think I'm jet lagged. Yeah.
Where have you flown to?
I've flown the coop.